Thanks, Jen. There are reports of illegal cluster bombs and vacuum bombs being used by the Russians. If that's true, what is the next step of this administration, and is there a red line for how much violence will be tolerated against civilians in this manner that's illegal and potentially a war crime?
It would be. I don't have any confirmation of that. We have seen the reports. If that were true, it would potentially be a war crime.
Now to the war in Ukraine, the Biden administration announcing new weapons package.
It'll include a controversial batch of weapons sent to the battlefield. The decision already met with pushback. Our D.C. Bureau Chief Ben Kennedy is live in Washington with more for us. Ben.
Well, Nicole, Louis, we're talking about cluster munitions, which are banned in more than 100 countries, including Germany and even Western allies, because of the threat they pose to civilians.
Good afternoon, everybody.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan behind the podium Friday. It's there he announced the Biden administration will provide controversial cluster munitions to Ukraine in an effort to push back Russian forces entrenched along the front lines.
Ukraine has been requesting cluster munitions in order to defend its own sovereign territory. The cluster munitions that we would provide have dud rates far below what Russia is doing.
It's part of a new $800 million military aid package to help Ukrainian troops recapture territory seized by Russia. But this move comes amid concerns from human rights groups opposed to the use of cluster munitions, highly lethal weapons that break apart midair and scatter bomblets over a large area, as unexploded pieces can be picked up by civilians, causing injury or even death.
We recognize that cluster munitions create a risk of civilian harm from unexploded ordnance. This is why we've deferred the decision for as long as we could.